Let me give you a quick overview over the new controls. So I'll first show you the mouse and keyboard controls. You can skip to the timestamp for the controller controls if you're playing on a controller. When you're loading into the game, you can see there's a bunch of weapons on the left and on the right side. I still recommend that you use greatsword weapon because that's what the game is balanced for. You can turn around and use a streaming dummy to get familiar with the controls. So you can first use F to lock on to the enemy. You can press F again to release the lock on. To attack the enemy, you just use the left mouse click. To dodge an enemy attack, you can use Shift. As previously, dodging through an enemy attack will refill your stamina. What is new is there's an ammo counter, so dodging through the enemy attack will also refill your ammo for your gun, because you can actually shoot the enemy now. If you hold right click, you switch into gun mode. If you hold right click and then click left click, you can start shooting the enemy. But as you see, your ammo is quite limited and you can only refill it by perfectly dodging through an enemy attack. You can also create a strong attack by holding down the Alt key and clicking the left mouse button. This will cost a lot of stamina, but also break through the enemy's block. And the enemies can also use this attack. Talking about blocking, you can block by holding down Control. But if the enemy attacks you while you're blocking, it will cost you stamina. And also the transition into the block is pretty slow. Okay, I'll just quickly show you this all in action. So as mentioned, dodging through an enemy attack will not only refill my stamina, but also refills my ranged ammo, as you can see on the counter that's just right next to my health bar. By holding down Alt and pressing Shift, you can also do a special parry, which is even stronger than the normal one and costs more stamina, but if you're successful, the enemy will be knocked back and you can do a strong counter attack. Alright, so when you start the game, you can see in front of you there's a bunch of weapons on the left and right side. You can pick them up by looking at them and pressing Y. As usual, the game is best balanced for the greatswords here in blue. If you turn around, you can see this training dummy that you can practice your moves on before you go into the arena. You can lock on the camera to the enemy by pressing down the right stick, and you can attack with the right trigger. You can dodge enemy attacks by pressing B, but this costs stamina, so be careful that you don't run out of stamina. You can also block by holding down the left bumper, but this will cost you stamina if the enemy attacks you, and is also quite slow. What is new is that if you hold on the left trigger, you can shoot at the enemy holding down the left trigger and pressing the right trigger. But this uses up your ammo. I'm out of ammo now, and you can only get it back by successfully dodging through an enemy attack. You can also hold down the right bumper to initiate a strong attack. So if you hold down the right bumper and press the right trigger, this will trigger a strong attack. But this will also cost you stamina, and those strong attacks are not blockable, and the enemies will use them against you. So you will have to perfectly dodge through them to avoid damage and also regain your stamina and get your ammo back. Okay, now let's quickly test that in a real combat situation. So as mentioned, if you dodge through an enemy attack, you not only get your stamina back, but you also get ammo for your gun. Now this should make fighting those really hard encounters a lot easier. By holding down the right bumper and pressing B, you can do a special parry, which is even stronger, costs more stamina, but if it's successful, the enemy will be knocked back, and you can do an even stronger counter attack.